right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night of On the Pole Racing here as we get set to rock and roll from the Vegas Motor Speedway. It seems like I got that a little bit turned down too far now. This needs... There we go. See if that works. Yep, that's perfect. Now, so as we get set to rock and roll here this evening, we got everybody set to roll. As practice is going on, let's go trackside. Well, first off, let's, there we go. Better. Just adjusting some sound settings here as we go trackside for qualifying. Everybody's still sitting around here, waiting to see where they kind of stack up before qualifying starts. Right now, Ryan McKinney is out front with your, or Randy McKinney, sorry, is out front with your quick time. Rolling down through here, qualifying soon to commence. And we'll see who is the first one out on track. Looks like we got Ryan Peters out on track. And that Prime 5 machine, there you see the 66 of Chase Matsko coming out. And we're going to be under the lights here tonight at Vegas, so this should be a great night of racing. I would see Peters there coming off of corner number 4, coming back around that start-finish line. Getting ready to start his first lap. 5 minutes of qualifying before we get set to go on the main event here. As you're on board here with Ryan Peters. Joey Stats laying down a great time. He comes across the line, both in pink. He's going to be your quick time at the moment with a 30.316. Ryan Peters there with a 30.777. He dropped down to third. William Gay now up there into second with a 30.597. Joey Stats coming back around here. Can he improve on his time? Does not look like he's going to. Ryan Peters back here in the 5. We're looking down there on the bottom of the screen just to see who's out on track and who's not. Chase Matsko is out there. He's trying to lay down a quick time. Gets a 30.804. Joey Stats here running the best time so far. We've got Graham Connolly out there. And at number 71 as he comes there off the corner. Dylan Jacob in that 88 machine. Paul Wentland, number 82. Looks like everybody's qualified except for Jay Davis, who's driving at number 317 here tonight. Looks like we got 16 cars that have qualified, 17 to take the grid. Rumbar Connolly, he was slow through the first corner. He's got a lot to try to make up here in the second corner, which he does not do. And he'll bring it down here on the pit lane. Oh, sorry, no car sounds. There we go. We'll fix that. And that's giving us issues again. Okay. Good moment. We'll have that back up and running, too, here in just a moment. You guys can't quite see the grid here, but we're going to get that right to you. As there it is, there on the left side of your screen. Got about 30 seconds of qualifying left to go. So I'm going to say this. I don't believe Jay Davis is going to qualify. All righty, let's take this time and salute our flag.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
All right, back here at the racetrack, we're getting set to go. Hopefully everybody's getting excited for the night of racing ahead of us as we've got the Xfinity Series here from Freedom Motorsports Alliance running around here tonight at Las Vegas. We're going to be under the lights, and we kind of ran into an issue with this last weekend. The track we were at was, I believe it was Talladega, if I'm thinking correctly. Can't fully function on my mind at the moment. I could be wrong on that, but the track we were at, nonetheless, where we were at, don't matter. did not have lights, so that got all screwed up. Then we ended up with the session being goofed up with some certain rules not engaged, some certain rules engaged. And so tonight, everything's back up and running, and we're watching Connolly run around here for his warm-ups. We got 2 minutes of warm-ups left. Chase Matsko out there. He's second fastest in warm-up right at the moment. But as we were saying, last week we almost ran under the lights. That track didn't have lights, so we couldn't run under the lights. Here, though, tonight, as you can see there, as we're on board here with Chase Matsko, as he comes down there, as he was coming through the turn, you saw them big light poles up there off the outside edge of the racetrack, so we'll be able to see what the drivers are doing. The driver will be able to see where they're going, and we'll be under the lights for a spectacular show here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway here tonight for the FMA Fleeger Farm Gaming Xfinity Series. Let's go. See if I can get some standings here for us as we're waiting on this to kind of roll up. Come on now. Do what I want you to do. We want Sim Racer Hub. Aha. Whoa. I may have a small boo-boo going on here. We'll see here. No. Okay. We have the Accelerant series going on right now. And we want to see standings. There we go. Now we got it. So leading the points right now with 200 points is Ryan Peters, Stephen Isham there in second, and Joseph Spillman there third right now in points as we get rolling here tonight. And we are at Darlington last week. Or no, I'm sorry, no, we were at Talladega. Grids get lined up here on the starting grid. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Getting the grid up here for us. Come on now. Get up here and do what you're supposed to because they're getting ready to go green. Joey Stats will roll off first. Austin Hunt second. William Gay there third. Austin Smith fourth. Brandon Johnson fifth. Paul Wentman there in sixth. Ryan Peters there seventh. Patrick Warwick's there eighth. Joseph Spillman ninth. Graham Connolly there 10th. Chase Matsko rolling off there in 11th. Dylan Jacobs there in 12th. In 13th tonight, that's going to be Mike Rowland. Randy McKinney there in 14th. Tiffany Ellis there in 15th. Cody Brewer 16th. And rounding out your field is Jamie Davis. And it's Jay Davis. Sorry, I keep calling it Jamie, but it's Jay Davis in that 17 spot. as we are getting set to rock and roll here. Green flag is out. We're down and away. Down here in the corner number 1 they go, side by side, as we see them all trying to fight for position. Ryan Peters, you see him up there on the low side, and that number 5 machine as they roll off the corner. Fighting for position down there below the 82 of Paul Wentland down here in the corner number 3. You got Joey Stats out front as a field is behind him there. And, oh, no, we got one into the outside wall. They are already getting into one another. There goes the 6 down into the infield. That's Mike Rowland down through the infield, up into the outside wall, and he is torn apart as he ended up coming there on lap number 2. He's going to tow it to the pits. No caution. They rolled down the back straightaway. I see the number 27 down there on the inside of the racetrack, trying to see if he can get by the 15 of Austin Hunt. Rolling on down off of turn 4, back up there against the outside wall. Down here through across the stripe, down in the corner number 1. Kind of a D-shaped track as well here at Vegas as they roll down through here. There you see the lights start to come on a little bit. And we're on board with Brandon Johnson down that back straightaway. And these cameras tonight brought to you by Track Cams. You can see up there in the top right corner their logo, along with down in the description you can find different links. We also have the code up there for admin box if you're interested in that. That makes, for certain people, a great box for you to have on the side of your wheel. I know I got mine attached to the left side of my wheel. Yeah, it pretty much allows me to say I'm pitting in, pitting out, and the new ones are even better than that, is they'll tell you the state, the one to go and everything else like that. So a lot of great driver information on them admin boxes. Down here out of corner number 4 they come. Now they work back out onto the front stretch. There you see the 27 of Brandon Johnson back there in 3rd. There you see in 4th Austin Smith, Austin Hunt in 5th. Paul Wentland there in 6th. Ryan Peters there 7th. Randy McCaney, he's trying to gain there in that number 9 machine, gaining on that 5. He's looking to the outside, does not quite have the momentum to quite get there. Now he's going to look there again as they roll down the backstretch. That number 9 Ford machine rolling down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Here they come rolling off. Joey Stats still up front, laying down a blister time during his qualifying and has not looked back as they roll around here at Vegas. Down in the corner number 1. Oh, looky there. Look at Graham Connolly get a run here at the 9 down there on the inside. He's going to force that Ford machine up there to the outside as he goes up there to go around the 5 of Ryan Peters, and he does so. Randy McCaney down there in the corner number 3 and 4. He's up there towards that wall, down there through the corner. Off of 4 they go, back onto the front straightaway. Or onto the front stretch, I should say. Not straightaway, because it's not straight. Down here in the corner number 2. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the racing action here on the pole from Fleeger Farm TV as they come down that back stretch there with the 74 of William Gay in 2nd. Austin Hunt back there 5th. Biggest mover of the race so far is this guy in that number 9, Randy McCaney. He is up. Mike Rowland looks like he is either in the pits or out, one of the two. We'll take a look at that as they come down across the ticker there on top of your screen. Connolly there in 9th, Rourke's in 10th, Brewer in 11th. Now you're looking for position number 17. There he comes. Roland is out. He did park it for the night. I just see Dylan Jacobs down there on pit road already. Joseph Spillman back here in 15th as he's just trying to make his way around the racetrack. As up here in 14th is at 3:17. Jay Davis did not take a qualifying run, but is out here on the track. Starting from the back, now he's up there in the 14th. As they roll around the speedway here in 13th is Tiffany Ellis. As they roll off of corner number 4. Chase Matsko in that number 66. He's up here in 12th. And we come back up here in towards the action stuff. You got that 87 of Patrick Warwick's. And right in front of him, that's the number 1 of Cody Brewer. Ryan Peters in 9th with Graham Connolly working his way up there in the 8th Randy McCaney up 7 positions in that number 9 here so far, as he tries to gain back up there toward more closer to that 6th position, who is currently being held by Paul Wetland down here through corner number 3 and 4. Austin Hunn there in 5th. Austin Smith back here in 4th. Brandon Johnson 3rd. William Gay 2nd. And Joey Stack still holding on to that lead here at lap number 11 as they roll down here in the corner number 1. 100 laps the distance here for the Xfinity drivers tonight. William Gay here in 2nd. Brandon Johnson there 3rd. Austin Smith 4th. There you see Austin Hunn there in 5th as they roll down here in the corner 3 and 4. Off of the corner they go. Everybody single file, trying to keep the action on the speedway. So we'll go wherever the action cam kind of shows us. As I'm going to take my hands off of that for a moment, give them a rest. They're, for some reason, going a little funky on me. As we go down here in the corner number 3 and 4, you're looking there at Cody Brewer in that number 1 down here off the corner. Back out onto that backstretch. He's got that 87 of Patrick Warwick breathing down his neck. Here we go, off the corner. And down below him, there you see that 87, I believe, of Patrick Warwick's trying to get there. No, we're looking at somewhere different now. As we're looking at William Gay in 2nd. In that number 74, he's got 2nd or 3rd and 4th coming at him. That's the 27 of Brandon Johnson and the 33 of Austin Smith sitting back here. As you see, running about that middle lane on the speedway, coming there off of turn 4, is that 27 there of Brandon Johnson. Hey, come down the backstretch. Back around on that front stretch, they come. There you're looking at William Gay still as they work here off the corner. Or into the corner, rather. Lap number 15 of 100. Great racing so far. Unfortunately, it's all single file racing. Not seeing really any too much battles going on. As you see, Austin Hunn back here 5th. Paul Wetland there in 6th. Randy McCaney back here in 7th. Graham Connolly in 8th. Cody Brewer in 9th. Patrick Warwick back here in 10th, rounding out your top 10. Now, one thing I'm kind of looking at here is this number 66 of Chase Matsko. He's sitting back here in an Air Force painted machine. And almost looks like he's trying to mimic a little bit of the red tail, but I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I come here off the corner. I see that 88 down there on the bottom side of the racetrack, having all kind of struggles here tonight. Joseph Spillman also having some problems. Not sure where Spillman's at. Spillman might have called it a night. Not sure, though. Jacobs 8 laps down. You're watching Brandon Johnson there in the number 27. He's got company from the 33 of Austin Smith. They roll down here off the front straightaway down here in the corner number 1. On down off the front stretch, down through turns 1 and 2, heading on to that back stretch. 33 looking to the high side. But he's leaving that ball open. That's going to leave it open for Austin Hunn down there on the inside as they come down here in the corner number 3 and 4. And Austin Hunn will take a shot at that over top of Austin Smith as they work on down here off the corner now. on to that front straightaway, or front stretch, rather. Right here at lap number 20, down into corner number 1 once again. Hopefully everybody enjoying the camera work here that we have from Track Cams. Definitely be sure to check them out if you're looking for some great camera work or some great camera action here on the iRacing platform. TV2 here, and all right, coming around lap number 21, Austin Hunt trying to get up there to that third place driver of Brandon Johnson, and doing so. Randy McCaney, though, he's up here in the 6th as he's got around Paul Whitman for that 7th spot, so now he's up to 6th. Paul Whitman back down in the 7th. McCaney really trying to get that car up there towards the front. He is laying down. We'll see here who's got the best time so far. And Randy McCaney running the same lap time as the leader. Last lap time around, they are running a little. He is running just a couple tenths slower. Well, scratch that. He come across faster that time. He come down with a 3-1-8-1, and the leaders had a 3-1-9-0. Austin Hunt had a little bit quicker time there of them all, though, with a 30 point. Well, they just changed again. Man, these guys are coming around the track quick. Here they come off of the corner once again. Joey Stats out there in front. He just lays down 31.91. And behind him the 31.88. Austin Hunt lays down a 31.73. So Austin Hunt right now your quickest one on the speedway as he's trying to make his way up there towards the front down here into corner number 3 and 4. Working back off here. So 30-second lap times here tonight. Fall off there a little bit due to tire wear. Now we see Austin Smith and Brandon Johnson going at it. Brandon Johnson up there to the high side. He's going to try to work that high side. Now Austin Smith keeps it in fourth. Here comes Brandon Johnson back down there on the lower end. Getting back in line. Hey, drivers come off of the corner here. Looking great so far. Everybody just kind of single filed out. Are we in for another great race tonight? You know, I've got to be completely honest. I'm very pleased with these drivers. The sportsmanship they show, the competitiveness they show. They come in here week in and week out just to really put on some great racing. And with that, the last couple weeks we've been fairly caution-free. I know that's crazy for a league to say that, but we have really been caution-free here at FMA. So if you're looking for a great place to race, great place to learn, come check us out. As we do have a lot of opportunities here for you to learn. We have practice sessions for different things, and just drivers helping drivers where they can. We're on board here with William Gaines. He comes down there into corner number 3 and 4 once again, coming back out on that front stretch. You can see them all chasing that guy of Joey Stats out front as we're quarter of the way done here tonight. As we're on lap number 27. There you see the 33 of Austin Smith, Brandon Johnson here in 5th, Brandon McCaney there in 6th. Working on down here in the corner number 3 and 4. McCaney up 8 spots, looking to make it 9 spots. He gets up there to the 27 of Brandon Johnson now. Down there to the inside. Randy McKinney now picks up in the 5th spot as they whirl down here off the corner. Brandon Johnson thought about doing the cut over, but did not quite have the momentum there as he gets back up there to the bumper. Randy McKinney. Austin Hunt there in at 33. William Gay here in 3rd. Austin Hunt in 2nd. Back down here in the corner number 1. Austin Hunt there in 2nd. William Gay there 3rd. Austin Smith there in 4th. Randy McKinney back here 5th. Out here off the corner number 4. Randy McKinney up to 5th. See if we got any other battles going on. You got Brandon Johnson back here in 6th. Graham Connolly back here in 7th. As he's getting to taking a shot here. He tries to get up there to the 27 of Brandon Johnson down there on the inside. Here they go. Hang on to it there as Dylan Jacobs gets way out there. And it looks like Spillman is out of this one. Done. Packed it up in the hauler again. Austin Smith back out here in that 4th spot. Biggest mover so far being Randy McKinney. Graham Connolly trying to track him down. Ryan Peters making the pass for 8th. Over top of Paul. Cody Brewer back down there in 9th. He's looking to see if he can make the pass. No, I'm sorry. That's who Brian Peters passed. Sorry. Patrick Warwick's back here in 10th. That is your top 10 so far. Now we roll here through off of 2. Back out on that backstretch. Joey Stats out there in front. Austin Hunt there in 2nd. William Gay here in 3rd. Austin Smith 4th. Randy McKinney there 5th. Graham Connolly 6th. Paul Wetland there in 7th. Our points leader Ryan Peters back here in 8th. Cody Brewer in 9th. And Patrick Warwick's back here in 10th. Not really seeing too much action going on the speedway. Maybe around that 15 of Austin Hunt, who's at the bumper of Joey Stats. Really haven't seen anybody get to the bumper of Joey Stats all evening yet. As they rolls down here into the bottom of the racetrack. Battle for the lead at one point tonight. And Austin Hunt's making a pass down on the inside of Joey Stats. Joey Stats really qualified well. Ended up coming up there and not looking back yet. Now he's got to start looking back, maybe a little bit forward here. As we got Austin Hunt battling down there on the inside of the racetrack. All right, here we go. Down into corner number 1. Austin Hunt down on the bottom side. Joey Stats up there on the high side. Austin Hunt trying to complete the pass for the lead. And will do so here as they come out of 2, back out onto that backstretch. Sorry, I have something stuck in my throat, and it's not really something hard. I'm sitting here eating a mint, and it lodged itself in a not-so-good area. So sorry for the unpleasant sounds there. As we roll down here through the front straightaway, or front stretch, rather, not straightaway. As I said, it's not straight. In the corner number 1, Austin Hund, as we got them all coming to pit road. There you see Joey Stats, William Gay, Austin Hund, and Patrick Warwick's coming in. Jay Davis, he's now picking up some spots as he stays out. Joey Stats, as we said, he come in. Austin Hund now coming in. We'll see if he gets credit for leading the lap. Here comes Ryan Peters. Jay Davis now. He's there in third. Brandon Johnson, he's going to stay out for the moment. All right, now Brandon Johnson's already been in the pits once. Same with Randy McKinney. Graham Connolly's been in. Some of these drivers are fighting to come out now. You see Patrick Warwick's as he comes out. Joey Stats there in fifth. Brandon Johnson there fourth. As the three are down there on the pit lane. There you see Jay Davis in that 317. There he is, the 5 of Ryan Peters. Austin Hund rolling off. You got Joey Stats rolling around here off the corner. You got Brandon Johnson in front of him. Austin Hund, what a great pit stop by that team as he comes out ahead of Brandon Johnson, but he's going to get past there as they come down into corner number 3 and 4. So he'll fall back into third, but what a move there to get him back out there with the leaders coming there off of turn number 4. Keep him in contention here at lap number 40. We get down here through into turn number 1 once again. Brandon Johnson, your leader now. Joey Stats, though, looking down low, looking as if he's going to try to make a run at the lead once again. Down there on the inside as they work. Oh, man, into the wall goes Brandon Johnson. Not quite what you want to do coming there off of turn 2, up there into that yellow safer barrier wall. Joey Stats down there on the inside as we got Austin Hund down here in third as well. Randy McKinney there in fourth. Austin Smith back here fifth. Graham Connolly in sixth. William Gay here in seventh. Paul Wentland there in eighth. Cody Brewer here in ninth. Ryan Peters in 10th. Patrick Warwicks in 11th. Chase Matsko rolling around here in 12th. And Jay Davis rolling around in 13th. Tiffany Ellis and Dylan Jacobs down there on pit road. As it stands right now, Spillman and Rowland, believing, are both out. I haven't got any word on Spillman yet. I do know Rowland is out. He ended up out early whenever his car ended up into the outside wall after getting loose and set down through the grass. Working down here off of the corner, here comes Brandon Johnson. As we saw, Joey Stats did get around him. Yes, Ellis is in the pit. Jacobs is in the pits. Spillman is out. That is confirmed up there on your ticker. That Spillman is out. Rowland is out as they roll on down through off the corner. Now you see that 55 there of Joey Stats. Brandon Johnson here. What a great night of racing as Austin Hund's here in third. Getting up there to the bumper of Brandon Johnson. Randy McKinney really showing some skill here. Ended up starting way down towards the bottom end of the pack, but has really come to life here as the race has been going on. As he is now up here in the fourth, looking to see if he can get up there any farther. As Austin Hunt gets around Brandon Johnson, he could be a contender here by the end of this one as well. As we already saw him battle once with Joey Stats. As Joey Stats is back out in front. Austin Hunt there second. Brandon Johnson there third. Randy McKinney, he's doing a great, phenomenal job, sitting right now in fourth. As you see him, he's trying to gain on the 27 of Brandon Johnson. As they roll down here into corner number 3, out of 4 and back onto that front stretch. Here in the FFG Xfinity Series tonight from the Freedom Motorsport Alliance. As you see, Randy McKinney down there trying to work up there to the bumper of the 27. Does so, gets here to him here in turn number 1. Is he able to pitch it down inside? He does look like he's going to get there coming off of 2. Can he make that drag race down the backstretch work as he come down here in the corner number 3 and 4? He does so. He gets down there on the bottom side. He does get past Brandon Johnson. That's going to move Randy McKinney up in the third position. Now that's going to put him as the biggest mover with 11 positions gained so far from where he started tonight. Couple of laps before halfway here. Joey Stats is your leader with Austin Hahn there in second. Randy McKinney now third, as we just saw him make the pass on Brandon Johnson to get himself into that top three. Brandon Johnson sitting there in fourth. Austin Smith back here in fifth. Graham Connolly up to sixth with William Gay struggling a little bit, falling back into seventh. Paul Wentland falling back into eighth. Ryan Peters falling back to ninth with Cody Brewer. He's up into 10th. Patrick Warwick's down in the 11th. Chase Matsko down one spot into 12th. So he really hasn't done a whole lot of moving forward or backward. Yeah, he's lost one spot, but that could all be due to pitch strategy. I finally work here in the corner number one once again. Joey Stats working down that backstretch. As they come off the corner, he's got, off of four. Coming here across the stripe, doing what he can. Austin Hahn, and it looks like we're getting stretched out around the racetrack. Let's take a look at the track map. As there you see it, that'll help us keep track of where some battles are as well. We've got the 87 and the 1 coming up here to battle as they try to, that's the battle for 10th and 11th between Cody Brewer and Patrick Warwick. Warwick's back up there into that outside fence once again. And they roll here through 1 and 2. He's looking to the outside of Brewer. Cannot quite get there as of yet. Really making attempts with that wall. They come down here in the corner number corners number 3 and 4 once again. As we're here at lap number 50, coming around off of 2 is the 55 of Joey Stats going around the lap machine of Jay Davis. Jay Davis going a lap down there in that 317. That's going to help Joey out a little bit, putting a car between him and Austin Hahn, but how much that's going to help, that's yet to be seen, as Austin Hahn's been doing a great work getting around traffic here tonight. Question is who's burning off what tires? And I see them as they work there off the corner. Austin Hahn looking to the outside there of the 317, makes quick work, doesn't stick around for long, as he now works there in the corner number 3. Here's Randy McKinney. He's there coming up onto that 317 as well. He works here out of 4, back onto that front stretch. Brandon Johnson. And at number 27, still sitting fourth, Austin Smith. I just see him there in that 33 machine, rolling down here in the corner number 1. He's trying to gain on that 27 of Brandon Johnson. Not sure if he really completely is. But the biggest thing for these drivers is they got to be smooth on the wheel. The smoother you're on that wheel, the faster you can be. You see some of these guys start seesawing that wheel a little bit, and you're just scrubbing speed off at that point. Graham Connolly there in 6th. William Gay there 7th. Paul Wentland back here in 8th. I see him come off the corner in that prime machine. Down there against that white line down there on the bottom of the speedway. Through that triangle as they work down here in the corner number 1. Ryan Peters, your points leader, back here in 9th. Surprised that he's struggling here at Vegas, it seems, that Joey Stats is leading it. But he's certainly losing that gap little by little to Austin Hahn, as Austin Hahn's there behind him. Joey Stat, not quite the move he wanted to make, I don't think, as he knows Honda is coming for him. Down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Man, these guys have really separated from the next car back. Randy McKinney, who's sitting 3rd. I guess it's not that far. It seems farther than what it actually is. But those top 3 have definitely put a little bit of a gap on the front part of the field. You see the 33 of Austin Smith gaining on to Brandon Johnson in that 27 as he comes down there off the corner. Here through the front straightaway. And you got Smith really working down there below. As the others are coming there off of the corner. The 55, Joey Stats and Austin Hahn. They're running 1st and 2nd. Here you see the gap closing between Austin Hahn and Joey Stats. We know Austin Hahn has the speed to stay ahead of him. And we know this driver here also could possibly be a contender by the end of this thing, as Randy McKinney, who's sitting there in 3rd. As we're over halfway done with this race. down here off of corner number 2, back down that backstretch. See if we've got any other battles going on. It looks like we got Austin Smith taking over that position. There you see the 27 and the 71 of Graham Connolly now. Graham Connolly is trying to get up there and battle with the 27. Down there on the inside he goes. Getting that Ford machine underneath the Camaro of Johnson as it comes down that back, or coming down through the front stretch. A little bit of a touch. Down there on the apron goes Graham. Graham's not going to be too appreciative of that, I don't think. They come down here in the corner number 1 there. Opens the door for William Gay to come up there on the outside. Not quite enough now as Gay comes there out of corner number 2. He's going to be all single file here. As you see Gay now down to the inside. He's going to try to battle there between Graham Connolly. As Connolly's back up there to the high side, he's going to get a pretty decent run there off the corner. Brandon Johnson just trying to keep both those drivers at bay behind him. I don't think he's going to be able to hold everybody off altogether. Same with Joey Stats as he's still up here with Austin Hunt nipping at his heels down here in the corner number 1. Corner number 3 and 4. Randy McCaney there 3rd. Here comes Austin Smith back there in 4th, but Brandon Johnson falling back to 5th. And possibly falling back a little bit more there as Graham Connolly gets down there to his inside bumper. Rolling down here into corner number 1. The 74, William Gay, is there as well. Now there you see it. There he goes. Graham Connolly down to the bottom side. Is he going to get it to stick? He does look like he gets it for the most part. To stick down there on the inside on 1 and 2. Up into the outside wall goes William Gay. That was Brandon Johnson going up there into the outside wall. That's not quite what he wanted to see. As that's going to allow that 71, Graham Connolly, to come on by. William Gay taking a shot to that outside wall. And he comes storming here off of the corner, down here across the backstretch. Austin Hunt there in 2nd. Randy McCaney there in 3rd. Austin Smith there 4th. William Gay back here 5th as he battles back up here beside Graham Connolly. Graham Connolly now falls back into 6th position. As William Gay's making that pass down there on the inside. Some of these drivers having a great run so far tonight. Austin Hunt really putting the power down here to try to get underneath the 55 of Joey Stats. As you see, Austin Hunt is there. Just hasn't been able to get quite up to the bumper as of yet. As they work here off the corner. Whoa, hang on to it there. Stats. Hunt is there down there on the inside. That lap's going to go to Joey Stats, but coming here into corner number 1 is Austin Hunt down there on the bottom side. Great battles here between these two as they come here off of the corner. Hunt possibly taking it over. No, that still hangs on up there on the high side. Austin Hunt's trying to hang on to that side draft down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Austin Smith is sitting back here in 4th. This is Austin Hunt battling for the lead up here. As they are fighting side by side between Joey Stats and Austin Hunt. Austin Smith is back here in 4th. Randy McCaney, what a night for him as he is up 11 positions to get himself sitting in 3rd. As these two out the front are still battling it out, trying to figure out who belongs out in front of this whole pack. Now you see pretty much they're all spread out all over the speedway. Dylan, I noticed you're in chat. Hopefully you'll be back next week a little bit better. I noticed you're sitting in pit road right now, so hopefully you're sitting there all right and everything's going to be even better next week. Look at the schedule here. We'll see. Let you guys know where in the world we're going. As we're here at we're at Bristol next week for 150 laps. That should be a fun one. 150 laps. Cody Brewer, he's sitting there in 10th right now in that number 1 machine. He comes across the stripe. 65 of 100 on the board. Austin Hahn finally made the pass there over top of Joey Stats. Joey Stats now looking like he's coming to pit road. So I wonder if that's his cue. I wonder if he's thinking to himself, okay, when Austin Hahn passes me, that's my cue to pit. Sorry to hear that, Jacobs. We'll definitely be looking at some of this stuff, I'm sure, after the race. I know Mike Rowland, he had issues there right off the start, pretty much. All right, we see Austin Smith here in second. Now, as Austin Hahn comes into pit road, here you see Randy McCaney leading the lap. As he comes around. But he's going to have to come into the pits too, I'm sure. All right, here we go. Down here in the pits comes Randy McCaney after leading the lap. Chase Matsko, he's going to come around here off of turn number 2. He's made one pit stop. Jay Davis has made one. Everybody else has made 2 that's still out there running. And you see Jay Davis there. Joey Stats here in third. We know he's got his hands full there as he's got Austin Hahn right there behind him. Man, these two have been battling it out all race long as we're getting down here to 30 laps to go. Down here off the corner. So I think Joey knows that he's got a car to potentially beat Austin. He's just got to keep them tires underneath him. And Austin Hahn might have a little bit better ability of doing so. It's what it's looking like. Going a little easier on the tires, knowing when to push, when not. But Joey Stats, he's doing a great job out there in front as well. As the third place guy of, I'm sorry, Jay Davis, he's there coming into pit lane. No, he's not. He's just falling back there in the fourth. As you see Randy McCaney there in fifth. We know McCaney, he has pitted twice. So he could possibly be your third place driver. And he's currently coming off of turn number 2 as the others are entering turn number 3. There you see Chase Matsko still rolling around in front as here comes one of the lap down cars. I think that was, is that the 82? That is the 82 of Paul Wetland getting a lap back. And we're going down through here. Cody Brewer being the next one to try to get a lap, as it looks like here comes Chase Matsko into the pits this time. Wonder if that's going to bring Jay Davis with him as he comes down to off the back stretch. As Chase Matsko is in. 73 of 100 laps complete. slowly ticking away down here. No, Davis is going to stay out. Oh, boy. How far is he pushing that? Now you see Austin Honda here in front. He's down there on the low side of Joey Stats. These two all the race long have been going at it. And like I said, I believe Austin Hunt may have a little bit better line of attack. But Joey Stats, he's right there with them. This one very well could come down to the wire between these two drivers right here. Really close on lap times. Randy McCaney, though, he's currently running quicker lap times than both of the leaders combined. As the leaders just come across with a 30.0 or a 31.0, and he come down with a 30.5. So I don't think there's enough time for McCaney to get up there to battle the front leaders. But we see them battling hard up here. Way down there on the inside of the racetrack with Joey Stats. We're now on board with Joey Stats out of Ravenswood, West Virginia, down here on the bottom of the speedway. And he has to pull back in line behind Austin Hunt. Man, what a run here these guys are having tonight. Randy McCaney, great run here by him. Jay Davis trying to hold on to fourth. I don't think he has the fuel, though, to make it to the end. Everybody else has made their two stops. Jay Davis has not, and there he comes. He's coming this time. That's what I said. From what I've known from the calculations I was given to set these races up, I didn't think it'd be possible for him to make it to the end without making another stop. As you see him coming down here in the corner number Alpha 3 and 4. You got Austin Hunt and Joey Stats going at it. And once again, Joey Stats way down there on the apron, trying to gain a little bit of momentum, a little bit of speed. As he's down there through turns 1 and 2. You see Austin Hunt a little bit farther up on the racetrack than what Joey Stats is coming through the corner. As Stats was a little bit quicker than Hunt that time. McCaney still trying to gain on these two. And the thing that's helping McCaney is Austin Hunt and Joey Stats keeps going at it side by side like this, allowing him the opportunity to try to keep bettering himself and getting up there, but he's definitely driving the tires off of that thing as he's sitting there with a 30.92 as he's trying to catch the leaders. Austin Smith back here in fourth. Dang, fly almost swallowed you. Down here off of corner number 2. Down that back straightaway in corner number 3 and 4, Austin Smith is being followed by Graham Connolly. Can Connolly get up there in the 4th? Austin Smith currently sitting where he started here in 4th position, but Graham Connolly working his way up there from 5th position, up 5 spots from where he started. Cody Brewer, he's up 6 spots from where he started, sitting there in 10th. Seems to be pretty locked into that position. Patrick Works back here behind him. Austin Hunt out there in front. What a night for him there with Joey Stats in 2nd. Stats had the short run speed, but Austin Hunt looks like he's got the long run speed. Now they're working down here off the back straightaway. 20 laps to go here at Vegas. Austin Smith rolling off at corner number 2. He's got Graham Connolly looking to his outside. There you see Smith dropping down to the inside. Now back up there to the outside. Off of corner number 3, and in the 4 they go. As those two drivers try to battle it out for that 4th position, that is. Now you see Graham Connolly out of Melbourne, Australia. Down there on the low side of the racetrack is Austin Smith trying just to keep something going. And one thing that I've kind of learned is, yes, there is an advantage and disadvantage to seeing some of these guys who are trying that low line down there across the apron of the racetrack. Yes, you're cutting off some of the racetrack, but are you really saving anything? Because you might be putting a little bit extra wear on your tires. From what I've been told and possibly understand. I don't know if that's true or not, or how true that can hold up, depending on driving styles, I'm sure, as it depends on how smooth a transition you can make going from the racing surface down onto that apron. As we see there, Joey Stats falling back now. 18 laps to go, 17 here as they cross the line. With Randy McKinney in third. He is catching them, though. Randy McKinney is catching these leaders. He's coming down here into corner number 1, not too far behind the leaders. Running still a little quicker than the leaders. So he can see them now. He can see them there in front of him. We could be shaping up for a great race here at the end. He's just got to try to make sure that he keeps that Ford parts machine put together. Doesn't want to turn it into parts as he comes down here into corner number 1. Making great lap times here behind the leaders. He's definitely fallen off now a little bit. He probably figured out that laps are ticking away. He's got to push a little bit, and he wants to get up there. And we know that the front leaders were pushing. As you see Joey Stats there in second. He's got to try to cool them tires down a little bit to see if he can make a run back at Austin Hunn. And Randy McKinney, he's really starting to gain here. Down here in the corner number 1 and 2. No other battles going on the speedway here at this point in time, as everybody else is spread out. And we see the 33, the 71 and 33 are battling it out. Didn't quite catch that at first, but they are for that 4th position. Here's Connolly goes underneath the 33, trying to battle it out here through turn 3 and 4. And this is for positions 4 and 5, as Connolly tries to get that 5th position handed over to Austin Smith, as Connolly wants that 4th position. Pulling down that back straightaway, coming there in at corner number 3. You can see Randy McKinney. He's starting to close on him. Now we're watching that track map. He is slowly, ever so slightly, catching on them leaders. Still running just a little bit quicker than what the leaders are, so he's got to make sure that he doesn't kind of overcook his stuff. Now we've got Austin Hunt out front. Austin Smith back here in 4th, trying to hold off Graham Connolly for that 4th position. As Connolly's back down on the inside of the racetrack, back underneath the 33 of Austin Smith. Working down that back straightaway. He's going to pull back up in line behind Smith as they roll down here into corner number 3 and 4. 12 laps to go. As I don't know, McKinney might be stuck in that position where he's at. I'm unsure, but he is catching the 55 of Joey Stats. So we'll have to keep an eye on 2nd place. Not so much about 1st, I don't think, as Connolly here is underneath Austin Smith, trying to get that position from him as they roll down here into corner number 3 and 4. Connolly's not able to get there. Still a heck of a battle coming off. And we'll check in with Randy McKinney as he's gaining on Joey Stats. I just don't know, like I said, if it's enough. Is it too little too late for that number 9 machine? But, I mean, either way, even if he comes out and finishes 3rd here tonight, what a run for him tonight. Coming up 11 positions from where he started, up here in the 3rd, getting through pit stop without too much issue, trying to save the tires on this. And Austin Hunt ended up running a quicker lap time that time, but he is running right there with the leaders on the lap times as they come here off of the corner number 2 down that back straightaway. Randy McKinney is really pushing it now, trying to get up there to try to see if he can get into 2nd place. He's got 10 laps to go. I doubt he'll get up there to Austin because of the way the lap times are, but there's still a chance he can get up there to battle 2nd before this thing's said and done. As Graham Connolly, he hasn't given up on Smith yet. As they work down here off up corner number 1 and 2, back around onto that backstretch. Still keeping an eye on that gap between Randy McKinney and Joey Stats, and I'm not really seeing it close. There's, well, yeah, I'm not really seeing it close here. Austin Smith running a little quicker again that time. Randy McKinney, he's got to make sure that he doesn't fall into following the tracks of the driver in front of him, because that could slow him down. He needs to make sure that he's hitting his own marks. His own marks were a little quicker than that of Joey Stats. 7 laps to go as they come across the line here down towards corner number 1. Graham Connolly still at that back bumper of Austin Smith. Who's at 82? We got Cody Brewer and Paul Wetland trying to battle it out as the laps close in on the finish of this race. Cody Brewer, as we're on board with him, down here through that front stretch. Getting up there to the bumper of the 82 Prime Machine. Getting a heck of a run to the top side. Up there against that yellow safety barrier. Got to try to keep it off. Keep that power down as it comes there off the corner. I see him there. He's battling hard to try to see if he can get up there in the 9th position. Every little position can help in the points race. And I see Randy McKinney back here in 3rd. I don't think he's got quite what it needs. But Graham Connolly, he's still trying to battle it out for that 4th position. But this guy here, William Gay, he's ever so slowly closing in on these two as these two keep battling it out. And it looks like McKinney has lost some ground. The Stats. 5 laps to go down here into corner number 1. Connolly down here on the bottom side of the racetrack trying to make that thing stick. Battle for 9th. Cody Brewer does get around Paul Wetland here. Coming across the line, 5 laps to go. So Paul Wetland falls back to 10th as Cody Brewer comes up there into 9th. It looks like Graham Connolly finally got around Austin Smith for that 4th position here as we can roll down into corner number 1 and 2. So Austin Smith falling back a little bit there after losing the battle there with Graham Connolly. Chase Matsko on pit road. They're finishing it out here. 3 laps to go. Austin Smith, I don't think is done with Graham Connolly yet. See what other battles we got going on. And that looks to be the biggest one here between Connolly and Smith, as Cody Brewer has put a little bit of distance between him and Paul Wetland. Coming down here, 2 laps to go for Austin Hunt, who's currently out front. There you see Randy McKinney sitting back here in 3rd. Graham Connolly here 4th. He's made a pretty decent run here tonight. Still has to battle that 33 of Austin Smith. And they work back down here into corner number 1 and 2 with 2 laps to go. Man, what a battle here tonight that we've seen in the closing laps. As you see Austin Smith getting back on the outside there of Graham Connolly coming here off of turn number 4. These two side by side as they come off. Austin Hunt up there towards the top end of the racetrack, trying to keep on him as he gets back down there to the bottom side. Graham Connolly ends up falling back behind him a little bit. Last lap, I don't know if Connolly has enough to try to get that momentum back up there. Here they come across the finish line. Austin Hunt going to be your winner here with Joey Stats in 2nd. Randy McKinney back here in 3rd. Austin Smith, this is the battle that we've been watching here between Austin Smith and Graham Connolly. They come here off of 4th. It's going to be Austin Smith taking that 4th spot with Graham Connolly there 5th. Then a little farther back, there you see Cody Brewer coming back around there. He's back here in 9th. So we're just waiting on cars to finish to get the final results to come in. Man, what a race tonight. Some good, some bad. I mean, we had a rocky start. We were unsure. Whoa, okay, that's an interesting number. for the date. All right, finishing order is Austin Hunn, Joey Stats there in second, Randy McKinney there in third, Austin Smith fourth, Graham Connolly there fifth, William Gay in sixth, Ryan Peters in seventh, Brandon Johnson there eighth, Cody Brewer in ninth, Paul Wentland there in 10th, Patrick Warwick's 11th, Chase Matsko in 12th, Jay Davis there in 13th, Tiffany Ellis there 14th, Dylan Jacobs there in 15th, Joseph Spillman in 16th, and Mike Rowland finishing up tonight in 17th. All right, here we go. Let's get with our winners if we can. We need Randy McKinney. Okay, here we go. Good evening there, Randy. How's it going?
Good. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing well. That race went to seem pretty well for you tonight.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite, top 5 and favorite tracks.
Well, it kind of showed. I mean, you started towards the back of the pack. It didn't seem like you got quite the qualifying run you were hoping for.
No, I almost lost it on my green flag lap, and then the second lap was just whatever I could make up, so my mistake.
Well, you definitely gave a good run there, a good effort there. You got into third, up 11 positions from where you started, so you must feel pretty good about that.
Oh, yeah, very happy with the race. Everybody actually, everybody's pretty cordial tonight. It was kind of nice to have a green flag run like that.
We've started getting some good green flag races going here at FMA.
Absolutely. As the drivers were racing more and more together, it seems like everybody's learning each other, and more respect and more friendships are building out of it. So it's been getting better every week.
That it has. So definitely shout out to you drivers for making it great. And unfortunately, we're losing a little bit of the pack racing. But, it is what it is. We're getting a little strung out here and there. But nonetheless, great sportsmanship and great racing all around.
Yeah, absolutely. And a track like Vegas, it's so easy to overdrive. So I can see the spreading out, and Austin and Joey just had phenomenal cars. I mean, they were killing me in 3 and 4. So hats off to them. They earned this one.
Well, there was actually a few spots where you had quicker lap times than they did. So you were right there with them when I was looking at lap times.
Yeah, I think I pushed. Austin's notorious. Saves tires. He's just so smooth. Him and Joey, they're just so smooth. I might have caught up to him, but passing them would have been a whole different race.
Well, isn't it always?
Absolutely.
I mean, there is that saying in racing, you might be able to catch them, but the question is, can you pass them?
And that's like that last run, I could get to like 9/10 of Joey, and then that was all I had. I burned up all my tires.
Yeah, you had a great run there, making a good run at them, but just unfortunately, like you said, you burned it up enough that you couldn't quite close the gap anymore.
Yeah, and that's a hats off to them. They played their strategy perfect, and they just had better cars to beat me. We'll group up for next week and try it again.
Yeah, next week we are Bristol, I believe. Yeah. Yep, Bristol next week. So that should be an interesting track for you guys to take on.
Absolutely, there'll be some pack racing in that.
Yeah, there should be. I mean, even if you guys get stretched out from one, through the field, you're still going to be battling lap traffic if nothing else.
Absolutely, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we might end up into an issue of, okay, who's actually leading this one?
It's happened before.
Without that pylon, we might not know. So congrats tonight for that third place. Who's your shout-outs and sponsors you want to make sure get thanked for tonight?
Oh, shout out to you, Adam, taking over the league, doing the broadcasting. It's slow. It's getting there. It's a grind to get the league built up where you're having good races like this with good car counts. So hats off to you, Chase Matsko, Austin, Joey. Great race with those guys. They earned it. So congrats to those guys.
All right, yeah, definitely congrats here, and can't wait to see what we have going forward. in the form of racing. I mean, it seems like every week it's just getting better and better.
Oh, for sure. And hopefully we'll finish out the season that way.
Alrighty, well, congrats on third place, and you have yourself a wonderful night.
Thank you. You too, Adam.
All right, that was Randy McKinney, our third place driver. Now let's get with Joey Stats. Good evening there, Joey. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good there. I'm doing pretty good. Definitely had a great race going there for the most part, it seems, between you and Austin Hunt. Weren't really sure who was going to finish where.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We even leaned on each other there a little bit, a couple times. Which I enjoy that. I just ended up burning my right front off and trying to get the lead and keep control of it. So, yeah, he ended up saving better tire than me and getting away with it.
Well, you guys still put on a show out there at front, and just staying as a you two staying together really put on a show here tonight. So congrats to all three of you there at the top of the leaderboard. Really, I mean, Randy McKinney, he really put on a show too, coming up through the field the way he did.
Yeah, he was catching me there at the end. I thought he was going to get to me, but I was able to keep second place there.
Yeah, unfortunately, he pushed just a little too hard and burnt the stuff up.
Yeah, he was getting close.
So, congrats for second place. You got sponsors or shout-outs you want to give here for getting that second place podium tonight?
I don't have any sponsors, but I would like to thank Austin for racing me pretty clean there. I know we leaned on each other a little bit, but in my book, that's still pretty clean racing. And then I'd like to thank you for broadcasting, and then just the FMA guys for bringing me in and letting me race with them.
Well, it's a blast. You can definitely. It's gonna be. I think we're gonna have a pretty tight point race if it keeps going like this.
Oh yeah, hopefully I can get it up in there and mix it up with them, and hopefully we can keep it tight.
Alrighty. Well, congrats on second place, and we'll see. What's your next race here at FMA?
I will be in the Cup cars Wednesday night, and then I could be back in Xfinity this coming Sunday.
Okay, so you'll be with us for Bristol, and where's the Cup cars? They're at Bristol too, huh?
Yeah.
So that should be a fun time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love Bristol.
So, alrighty. Well, we'll see you Wednesday night then for the Cup Series.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Alrighty, have a great night.
Yep, you too.
All right, that was Joey Stats. Now we'll get with Austin Hund. Good evening, Austin. How's it going?
It's going good.
What a run you had tonight.
Yeah, that was a fun race there. That was had a good little car set up going there.
Well, you came out with the win. You definitely had to work for it. It wasn't a give me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I thought I made the move too early that last run when I finally got the lead back. I definitely thought I went too early because he kept me pinned on the bottom for a couple laps, but I thought that was going to wear my stuff out where he just run me back down by the end of the run, but I guess it did not.
Yeah, I think he fell victim to I got to push a little bit to stay with him type of thing.
Yeah, I think so too. But like I said, I thought he was going to have something for me at the end. I thought he started saving when he started falling back a little bit, like a tenth of lap. And I thought he was going to try to come back strong the last 10 laps or so, but
you did a great job there holding on to the lead, and definitely was a great night of flip-flopping there between the leaders, between you and Joey. And I think McKinney, if he would have had a little bit better qualifying time, he might have been up in there too.
Yeah, he was running a good race too. I saw him catching up to me there at the end. I was like, oh, he might catch both of us.
Yeah, just unfortunately for him, a little bit too much or too little too late in the lap count, but he still had a great night. So, but for you, great job on getting the victory here, putting yourself in the victory lane. You got any sponsors or shout outs you want to shout out to for helping you get into victory lane tonight?
You guys putting the broadcast on, everybody that helps run this league and everything, and then the group of guys over there at 40 Raceware, and then definitely the wife and the kiddos for giving me a little bit of peace and quiet to do this.
Well, can't forget them.
No, they give me the time to do it, so.
Alrighty, well, congrats, and you're back with us tomorrow night for the GT3s, or are you?
Yes, sir. I should be there.
Alrighty, so that we look forward to running them tomorrow night, and I didn't check to see where that race will be at.
That I'm not sure either.
Let's see here. April
Road
14th. Yeah, we're at Road America. So
I don't know if I'm too familiar with that one, but we'll figure it out.
well, it should be a great race nonetheless, and we'll see how it goes. It's always these races here at FMA. It just seems like they're getting better and better each week.
Yeah, they're definitely clean, long green flag races, and that's what makes them really fun.
Well, especially whenever you get a couple of you battling like you and Joey did tonight.
Yeah, because then it really comes down to strategy, and he kept pitting right before I would, and I knew I couldn't stay out more than a lap past when he pitted, or I would have lost too much to him.
He definitely kept you on your toes, that's for sure.
He kind of forced my hand earlier than what I wanted to that last run, but it worked out.
All right. Well, congrats there, Austin, and we'll see how it goes from here. Congrats on
Yes,
the victory
sir.
tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so that was Austin Hahn, our victory winner here tonight at Las Vegas. And we'll have to see how the points stack up going into next week, as we saw our points leader fall back into 7th position here tonight as the points get stacked up here. So congrats on everybody that came out putting on a show, and all you that come out to watch and support the channel. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow night, starting with Roughneck Racing with their Super Speedway Series. I can't remember what track or car will be, so that'll be interesting to see what we have. And then we're back here at FMA for the Regal Wraps and Designs GT3 Series. Have yourselves a great night.